obviously, he's in a different league now. 20,000 yes men round him. You know, this is what happens, isn't it? When you get to the top, there's a lot of leeches out there, a lot of hangers on. As you can see what's happening in America with him. Appalling work, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion, but I'm straightforward. But that's Tyson's business. He's over 21. It's up to him.
When you say appalling, you're talking about the whole thing where, you know, he was going to fight AJ and then the last minute suddenly he's fighting Deontay Wilder.
It's diabolical, isn't it? You know, you're geared up to fight one man, and all of a sudden, on the 11th hour, it's all sorted in 24 hours. He's signing contracts in the hall of a boxing venue. You know, they're around him like the locust. You know, and I think to myself, you know, how can you think straight with all that around you? It's, for my one, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We can blame his team, can't he? No one else. Anything rushed is no good, and that's been rushed. He was fighting AJ. I wanted to fight AJ. I have no interest in Deontay Wilder. So why has he got to fight Wilder? I told him on a phone conversation, chuck the belt in the bin, let him have it, come back and fight AJ on the 14th of August like was planned. But who am I? I'm nobody, unfortunately. A voice that only a certain amount of people hear. And because you don't drive a Rolls Royce, live in a castle, it falls on deaf ears, doesn't it?
Those are the words of John Fury. Wow. As you heard, John Fury said that Tyson Fury made a mistake. You blame your management. He has too many yes men around him. They're around him like locusts, right? And he told his son, like, hey, chunk that WBC belt in the bin if that was what it's going to cost to fight AJ. But, you know, of course, he's just one man without the money or without the power, as he explained. And here we are. Let me counterpunch. Now, when I woke up, I heard this. This has been sent to me like 7, 8 different times about John Fury. And obviously, I owe John Fury an apology because I thought this whole time John Fury was in cahoots with his son and they really didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua because it was too early, or should I say, well, yeah, too early for Tyson to be taking a fight like that with Anthony Joshua. I think I heard concern from John Fury because of a tune-up fight, right? But as of now, it's like, well, why would you go and fight this guy when you are already gearing to fight that guy? That makes no sense. So that tells me, that John Fury did not hear everything that went about. Okay, he was in the dark just like a lot of people, just like us all. We were one of those type of groups of people that were waiting for progress to see what was going to happen with this fight. Then all of a sudden it's chunked in the trash. It's like he said, it's diabolical. It's too convenient for him to already be signing contracts. So it's hard for me not to know that he didn't know. Because see, if something catches you by, it's just something blindsides you, right? You get T-boned with this new information that you didn't even really think that was going to ever happen. Why are you then so comfortable? That's the word. With signing a contract that quickly. See, if Tyson Fury showed like that he was pissed off, if he showed disgust, if he showed very huge disappointment in the matter, that would be one thing. But it wasn't. He was like, oh, well, so we're going to do it. We're going to sign the contract, right? So he signed it on. Not only did he sign it happily, he signed it in public. Okay, like I did a video on that about you guys. Frank Warren the same way. If he would have had shown some kind of, I'm very disappointed, that's not very disappointed. You sound the same way you sounded. You know what I mean? That lets us know this whole thing was a ruse. Okay, this whole thing stunk because it was certain people that knew. Bob Arum knew. He knew. Look how the way that he responded to Eddie Hearn when Eddie Hearn called him and asked him right? What's going on, Bob? I know, this is terrible. You know what I mean? No, that's right. You did know. You did know it was terrible. That was the point. You knew, yeah, he's going to rule in his favor. What are you going to do about it? Okay, Tyson Fury has to fight Wilder. Like all of a sudden, everyone surrenders and signs a contract to fight Deontay Wilder. All of a sudden, that's like the thing to do instead of there was no rebuttal. There was no objections. right? There was no counterpunch at all. There was just, okay, well, we're fighting Wilder now. Oh yeah, by the way, we have this this venue already set aside to fight Wilder. But then you didn't know you was going to fight Wilder. Impossible. Impossible. And like this guy here, John Fury, he wanted him to fight the best. He wanted, and then the thing that happens with these type of fights, it's never no sure winner. Everyone talks about, oh, Tyson Fury's going to mop the floor with him, and it just shows us that this whole time you guys have been stretching this about to do exactly this because you did it too quickly. You know what I mean? You did it too quickly. All of a sudden, okay, well, hey, I'm going to fight AJ. I'm going to fight AJ. No, the fight's not going to happen. Oh, you know what? They don't have the money. No, I don't think it's really going to happen. Oh, I don't think they really want to fight us. No, this is not going to happen. But I want to fight. Oh, well, hey, maybe I'll fight Wilder. But you know what? No, I don't think they still want to fight. I don't think Eddie Hearn has the money. I don't think he's ready. Guess what? And then all of a sudden, oh, you lose to the stick. Okay, I guess we're fighting Wilder. We're fighting Wilder now. That's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? For the last 4 or 5 months. But I do agree with John also on this. Anything rushed can't be good. Okay? But what John unfortunately doesn't know or doesn't have it realized, I feel that it wasn't rushed. This whole thing was planned. The venue, the everything. As long as the moment they found out Deontay Wilder was training, they already knew. That's all that is. Now, for him to chunk the WBC in the trash, I don't know where Mauricio comes in at. You know what I mean? Because as long as he's fighting Anthony Joshua by a certain date, that's fine. But I remember Mauricio, they did send an order like, hey, you have to fight someone within this time span because it's already been past a year. Right? February 22nd was a long time ago. Right? So I did hear something on that, along that grounds. But then here's the other problem. If he decided to drop the WBC belt, would Anthony Joshua fight him? So you're probably looking at a whole different problem. Because see, if Anthony Joshua just said, hey, okay, well then I fight him, well that meant that Anthony Joshua really wasn't even eyeing the WBC belt anymore. But the question is, why wasn't he, or why wouldn't he? Since he has his belts intact. So that's a lot of things to think about. But again, I owe John Fury an apology because he didn't know or didn't expect Tyson Fury to just up and fight Deontay Wilder, according to this interview. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of John Fury's response towards his son. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.